Yeah, camera's rolling, folks. Thanks for tuning in. Where's that? Just gonna make a cup of tea here. It is time for tea. So, yeah, I'm just here in the studio. And yeah, I'm just here on the table, just doing a little job that I thought might interest you. So let's go over here. Yeah, I'm just down here. It is cold outside again. What I'm actually doing is making some of these little roller wheel stamps that I spoke to you about. For rolling, you know, along the like I showed you in the last video when we were out in the kiln shed, along the bottom of some of the pots, you know, it's got that that design. I'll get something to show you for the benefit of those who were not or didn't see that particular clip. This is like a sauce boat, but if you'll see along the edge here, there is a design which, to do that kind of design, you see, you need an impressing wheel, and you know, you can make these yourself. I mean, you could. This is the simplest kind, which is simply a couple of little pieces on each side, which enables it to rotate. And you can really do any design. You see, that's the one there. This design, which is a type of herringbone, which I just showed you on that sauce gravy boat. Now, the thing about them is they don't want to be high fired. They want to be bisque fired so that they remain porous. And in that way, they don't clog with clay. Because if you don't make them porous, what will happen is, as you roll them, after you've done one, probably the clay will gag in the actual pattern. So I just thought I'd make one for you. Maybe we'll bring the camera down a bit lower. We're flying a bit high again. Let's come down and bring it in sort of here, so we can be on the same level, sort of thing. And I'll quickly make one, show you how I go about it. So here goes. So basically, I've got some clay here. What I do is I make these 1 ounce of clay. Okay, so a little balance like this, 0.9, 0.98. That will do it. Okay. The next thing, once you've got your clay, spit into the palm of your hands like this, and roll the clay like this. You see what I'm doing? Into a nice sort of compressed, tight ball. Okay, so you got that. What we're now going to do is you're going to hold that ball like this and like this. Okay, so with this hand I'm going to squeeze it flat. With this hand I'm going to rotate it as I go. Okay, and you'll find that if you do this you'll get quite proficient at it, and you'll find that you'll get a nice even disc. Now I have actually made these before on the potter's wheel, where you throw like a pillar of clay to the diameter that you want, and then with your needle tool you go in and you cut off these. But you know what, when all is said and done, I think this is simpler and is actually better. Okay, so see what I'm doing here? So I've got an action going here where I'm rotating, and an action going here where I'm just going like this, you see? You have a go, you'll see it's not that difficult. All right, and it just, you know, so long as you, that's why I say roll a round lump, and you want them to, well, I make them, actually I make them about 1.25 inches in diameter. And yeah, I can sort of eyeball it, but I measure it too, you know. Yeah. So you don't want this here, you don't want the diameter, here's some that I've already made, you don't want this here to be too wide, okay? You don't want it too wide. That's one thing to bear in mind. If you have it too wide, you won't get a good impression, because it's got too much contact area and it hasn't got enough penetration to penetrate into the clay, because it's too broad an area. Okay. The other thing, and that is helpful, and that is if the section, if you were going to take this disc now, cut it right through the middle across, okay, and we were going to then look at it end on, the actual cross section of the edge of the wheel wants to be slightly rounded like that, okay? Doesn't want to be flat. And that's the thing, if you do throw a pillar on the wheel and just cut them off, the edge is going to be perpendicular with the diameter, isn't it? And it's not going to be nice and rounded like that. That also helps in the when you come to use it, to impress and to get a nice design, a nice impression. Okay, so there you have our little disc that we've made. So the next thing that we want to do is we want to think of, oh well, so what's going to be the next the design we're going to put on here. So that's really is up to you, and I recommend that you hand carve it. You don't see something else that has a good impression and then roll this onto it to try to get that impression. I would actually hand carve it, and then each one is an individual piece. Okay, I mean, I've made many of these stamps before. Here is a herringbone one. Okay, all right, here's another herringbone one that I made today. It's the same design, but it's actually, each one is an individual piece. It's not a generic kind of molded item. Each one is hand carved. So in this case, and then you can choose what implement you want to use to put that impression in. In this case, I'm using this cut-off needle thingy. And so we're going to take your, now, don't know if I should do this, if I can do it up here. I'm probably not going to be able to do it if I'm trying to get it in the camera as well, but I'm just going to do it. Okay, so I'm taking this tool and I'm laying it across the, can you see that, what I've done? I'm never sure when I'm doing these videos how visible what I'm doing is. Talking of visibility, you know, that last video I uploaded onto, as some of you may know, I've changed my computer. I've gone and got a Mac, and so initially I had some difficulty getting the video file, which is from a Sony camera, which is an AV CHD type file, to get it onto my Mac, because it's not a format that is. I'm just mentioning this in case somebody can give me a hand. But I eventually did manage to import it into QuickTime. The only thing was, when I uploaded it onto YouTube from QuickTime, the aspect ratio is not right. On that last video, if you noticed, it's rather kind of narrow. And I want to know how to correct that. I'm not sure how to do it. Any nerds or geeks out there who know about this kind of thing if you could let me know what I need to do to correct that, I'd be much appreciated. It looks kind of weird, doesn't it? Okay, so here am I with the tool. You see what I'm doing? I'm not carving it. I'm just pressing the tool into the clay like that. Okay, see that? I hope you do. All right. So that's the next thing. Now you can be creative, you know, I mean, use your imagination. Some of these ones here, I'll just show you a few that I've just done. That one there. Here's one, a different style. Here's yet another. And here's one similar to the one I just did. Here's one which is, I've made it like that. So as I roll that around the bottom of the pot, it'll put some lines, you see. Okay. This is not rocket science, is it? I mean, it's pretty basic, but I mean, just want to show you. Sometimes people sort of have that a thought. Oh yeah, right, of course. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, with this tool, the same tool as I use, I'm just going to scratch it or key it up in the middle area there, just by going like that, you see. Voila, now. So here I've got some, little bit of this. I'm just going to, a bit of slurry, wet clay, you know. Glue, potter's glue. Whatever you want to call it. My dad used to call it slitch. I don't know why he called it that. So Ben, I used to call it splidge. Splidge. Wet your, spit into your hands a bit because it makes them a bit. Otherwise, your hands will dry out these little pieces of clay. So I've just made a little. So what you want to do is, look. What I'm doing is just making a little, sort of like a cone. You know, those things that are going to go on the side there, so that we can. Okay. Oh, I want a couple of them. couple of them. La, la, la. It's fun doing something, isn't it? Sitting down here by the fire, relaxing, listening to some music. Well, I'm not listening to the music right now, but because then I get ugly comments from YouTube. You can't play music. You haven't got permission to play that music. Even if I've created the music myself. On my own guitar, they probably, and then played back the music that I created, they'd probably say, you haven't got permission to do that. Oh, yes, I have. Okay, so I'm going to take this, right? We're going to plonk it there in the middle. Like that. Aim for the middle. Just probably hit the bullseye. Alright, on one side. Just make sure that these are like about the same size, these little cones that you're sticking on. You don't want them to be one big one and one tiny one. Okay, take your little see that? So now take this little tool or one similar or something like this, because what I want to do is just make sure this is well attached here, because these actually can blow off in the firing, in the bisque firing. Sort of like that. Swing him over and do the other side like this. Like that. All the way around. Okay. Yeah, you can see there's a little bit of a bit of a fiddle, aren't they, really? If you think about it, there's all this sort of makes sort of making pots on a wheel seem a bit easy, doesn't it? I mean, you have to do all this handwork. I did say that I'd probably put some of these up on my website, and I will try and do that. I don't foresee myself making vast numbers of these because it's, as you can see, it's time consuming, and you know, my time isn't going to be worth my time to do it, really, if I'm honest. But you know, I said I would, so I will put some up. So if anybody wants them, you better grab them quick, because I'm not going to be doing millions of these. It's better if you make them, isn't it, really? Better if you make them out there, you guys. I'm just giving you ideas. This is actually not my idea as well either. I saw this somewhere, and I thought, oh wow, that's a good idea. I like that because it's sort of simple, you know. It's like it's complete in itself. It doesn't need anything else. It doesn't need. Yeah, you could make these differently, couldn't you? You could just put a hole in the middle, and then you have like a wooden handle, you know, with a piece of bent metal coming around like that, and then you can take any one of these and put them on the. Well, yeah, you could do that. You could do that for sure. But I like these because it's like the handles, everything that you need is there, isn't it? And I find that they work actually rather well, because your hand, you see, your finger and thumb here makes up what would be the handle. So yeah, that's about it, folks. That is about it. Just be careful as you're handling it, you don't smudge the design. In fact, you can let these set up a bit, you know, let these set up a bit before you actually come to put the design on. Make the discs, and then I would recommend leaving them for an hour or two before you come back to them. All right, but that's the one we just made together, that guy. And that'll give a sort of rope-like finish when that is put on the outside of a pot. One thing to bear in mind, don't make them too clumpy, too big. As I told you, don't make this too wide here. Make sure it's rounded in cross section. These are made about 1.25 inches in width, 1 ounce of clay. Don't ask me what the cones weigh on each side here, because I don't know, I didn't weigh them, but you know, just a small lump of clay. But don't make them too big. And it might be an idea, just to prevent these guys blowing off in the bisque firing. If you take a tool and you put in a couple of holes, all right, into the thickest part of into the core of the wheel, like that, okay? And what's that going to do? That's going to let steam out in case they're not bone dry. But they are going to be bone dry, because I'm going to put them on the stove and I'm going to roast them. I'm going to roast them over there on my wood burning stove. Not yet. When they're dry, and then I'll put them on the stove for a further, you see, a further drying off. That's not a bad tip to do, to stick something like this, a piece of metal or wire or something, you know, to make a hole, make say 4 holes right down into the core, because if you don't do that, if steam is trapped inside there, or water moisture content, it can't get out, it'll blow this thing off the side. It'll just go. So yeah, what else? Yeah, sip of tea, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, I hope that's helpful to you. You know, there's many things that we can do. There's another thing I was just doing here. I was making a stamp, because I wanted to make a stamp for the year 2018. So I got a little piece of clay like this, you see, and then I've carved onto the face of it there, 2018. Of course, you've got to remember, when you're doing carving, you see, you can't just put 2018 on the bottom like you would write it, because when you come to impress it, it'll come out all gobbledygook, you know, it won't be readable. So you see here the 2 is around the other way, you see. It's like mirror writing. You have to write it like as if you were writing mirror writing, and then it will come out. I don't think I did that very well actually on this particular one. I may redo it. But it's very easy to test it out. You can test it out before you don't have to bisque fire it before you can test it. Just let it dry off somewhat, and you'll find that it will you'll be able to impress it into some soft clay without firing it, and then you might think, oh, that's not very good, I need to improve it a bit, you know, or I need to deepen the I need to take my tool and carve it deeper, perhaps, you know, because maybe it wasn't giving a very good impression. And when you're happy with it, then we can take it over to the little miniature kiln, and you can stuff it in your miniature kiln, which you're going to make, aren't you? Of course you are. The little miniature guy. Yeah, I made these little clips on the side, you see, and I've got a job to do on it though, and that is, you see this piece of metal, you see, is not fastened at the moment, but that's why I made these little buttons, you see. This one's gonna have like 5 buttons on it. there, there, and it's going to have one at the top there, I think. So those buttons are going to be pulled down like that using this nichrome high temperature wire with these like little staples that I've fashioned, which are going to push through all the way through, you see, and then tie off on the other side on the metal, on the grid. Yeah. So yeah, that's the little kiln, and I'm working on another design. I'm going crazy, aren't I, at the minute? Sometimes you get into a sort of creative flow, don't you? And you just sort of want to go with the flow and blow everything else. Who cares about making pots, you know, when you can make kilns? But anyway, what I wanted to do was I wanted to make another one. I'm going to call this my miniature kiln, and I'm hoping I'm going to be able to get up to cone 10 in it. I'm going to try it, believe it or not. Using my faithful friend here. Yeah, I just got a thing online actually. I don't have it here to show you, but it's for refilling these bottles, because I got numerous ones of these 1 pound propane bottles that are empty. So now I've got the adapter, which I only just bought it just recently over the internet. You know, if anybody's interested, let me know. I'll give you the link. But you can buy the adapter by which you can refill these from a regular 20 pounder. You can fill these up, and it saves throwing them away, doesn't it? And in any case, I need these now. I'm going to need this for firing this. But I do have a plan, and that is to make another kiln. Probably it might be something about not quite as big as these 2 concrete blocks here, but also out of cage wire and fiber like this, for a miniature small kiln. You could call it like this wheel here is a tabletop wheel, isn't it? One of these guys, or one of these other ones over here, like that, little tabletop wheel. Well, we'll call it a tabletop kiln, shall we? The tabletop kiln. Yeah. So I've got the design. I've figured it all out, and I've got all the materials actually. I probably need to make some more of these buttons, because these buttons are really only sized for this small kiln, and I really need a slightly bigger button to... Yeah, I'm going to anyway have a go at that. It's in the pipeline, let's say. It'll happen sooner or later. But first I'm going to fire off these wheels and stamps, etc. And first things first, I got too many projects, you know. I still haven't done my PDF of the other kiln outside, you know, my converted to electric to gas. I was going to do a PDF of that and let you all have that if you wanted it, you know. Well, I'll put it on the website anyway, turn it into a PDF, you know, how to make it. Well, you know, put lots of measurements there and so on and so forth. So that, you know, with tips and ideas about how to go about making one of those kilns, because they're pretty satisfactory kiln, I think, and in a cheap way of achieving a downdraft, high temperature, reduction fired kiln, you know. Recycling from an old kiln. Yep. Okay, folks, thanks for joining us. That's what I'm doing right now, today. And I'll try and get these guys dried off on the stove over there. Meanwhile, keep practicing. Join us for a workshop if you